What's up, podcast fans? It's your buddy Adam, the PhD, the previously heavy dude, and this is a very special episode of the Million Pound Mission podcast. Now, you're going to get to listen in as I do a one-on-one coaching session with one of my clients for my Transformation ReBoot program. We're going to dig deep into their top transformation danger zones and come up with actionable steps they can implement right away. And you get to listen in and you can implement those same steps to get better results for yourself. Now, be sure to hang out after the episode to learn how you can do a free 10-day trial inside of my Transformation ReBoot program. All right, let's dive into the coaching session. All right, Mandy, welcome to your hot seat call. What would you like to focus on here today?
Well, things have been going I think my struggle right now is things have just been okay. I'm not really too bad on the struggle bus, but I haven't been great. I don't know how to word this. Something I've been thinking about a lot recently is, I don't know, at what point do you quit being well, it's okay. Let's just learn from this mistake. We need to move on from it. Because when I was in high school, I lost 85 pounds. I think I told you, and then I gained it all back plus more. And I think it was from that, you got to the point where, you started slowly putting it back on and you're trying to lose it, but you keep giving yourself that, well, it's okay. We can move on from it kind of thing. Or, what are we going to learn from? I don't know. I just want to quit. I don't know. Maybe I'm just mean to myself, but I'm I need to stop doing this.
Yeah.
And,
so kind of a balance between being realistic, but also not being soft on yourself. Is that
right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, first off, we have to kind of paint the picture of, we only have so much willpower, focus, and mental energy. And right now, you're preparing for your wedding. You've got all those things happening. You're maintaining results nicely, right? And your career is taking off. So what we have to do is kind of establish the new normal for this reality where, before you were in serious relationships and things like that, you had more time to put it into the gym and you could be there every day. Same thing with work. Now you have more work responsibilities. There's more time there. So now I feel like you're in a good spot where we're not gaining weight. We're not losing momentum, but this time of year right now, this is a good time to we don't have to, I think people sometimes get in the mindset of, okay, I've got to establish a pattern and it's got to just be like that. And that's how it is. When we can do it's doing high intensity interval training. Sometimes you sprint, sometimes you recover. And that's how our overall game plan can be a little bit. So you have to think in the season of my life right now, is it a time to sprint or is it a time to kind of hold steady? And the actual time of the year, the wedding's coming, the career thing is happening. So those variables aren't going to shift, but we don't have holidays coming up. You don't have any big vacations or anything coming up, do you?
No.
Okay. So it's a good time to sprint. And that's the beauty of the 28-day system we have with ReBoot is it could be a sprint 28-day. It could be a maintain 28-day. It could be kind of a moderate 28-day, but you get to choose that. But I think that's something we should actually emphasize a little bit more with the group is okay, what is this for you? That might actually be a good assessment question for the beginning of the month. Is this a sprint? Is this a maintain, or is it a little bit in between? So, what would your answer to that be as far as just scheduling wise, mental wise, willpower wise? Do you feel like the next cycle should be a sprint, a maintain, or kind of a moderate pace?
I think the next cycle for sure should be a sprint. I don't have anything big. I have we have to go to Adam's family the week that Ian's going to be in town for, and then they're throwing me a little shower, and that is high stress for me. I totally tanked at Christmas being there. I was super overwhelmed, and I didn't do well at all. Adam even looked at me at one point when I was eating something I shouldn't have been eating, and I was just oh shit, she is in it so deep right now. So that was just super stressed, and then we're going to Beer Fest, but that's a one day, not it's on a week thing, so those are the only two big things that I know I'm probably not going to have complete control over everything.
So if it's going to be more of a sprint mindset, so we could use this 28 days and, we have different variables. You could book an extra workout. I mean, obviously you can always just push it harder during the workout, get more out of what you're already doing. So that's an option. Maybe add an extra half an hour workout, or get to an open gym, or do another class, or whatever. Or get outside, drag your fiance outside and go for a bike ride or something. Get out and just try to have another established workout. And then with nutrition, I would maybe dial up a little bit tighter there. I would challenge you during like a true sprint phase. I think there should be a 14-day period with no cheats at all. That way it kind of detoxes us from the cheat situation. So look at those two danger zones, book cheats, a cheat meal, maybe for each one of those, or whatever you're going to do, but make sure we've got a 14-day gap at some point during the 28 days. That way, we're building that momentum. And then we're not in the mindset of, this is how it has to be forever, I never get to cheat again. It's like, just 28 days. This is a sprint. Right. This is a sprint cycle. So, and then we can, get a nice stair step up. Because what I'd prefer to have you have, like, just game plan wise, thinking forward, as you get closer to the wedding, I would like to keep the food and fitness low stress. So what I don't want to have happen is you being like, I'm going to drop 20 pounds the last month and I've got to just hustle, because you're going to have all this other stuff to focus on. Like, I want you to be present and enjoy the whole, lead up to the wedding and all that, and not being like, I can't eat anything, stress, because that's not going to be good. I don't think you'll react well to that. The willpower is going to be super low. So I would rather really take advantage of the sprint months now, and then have those more like relaxed paced, not like relaxed diet, but, just maintaining, just kind of riding the momentum that we've already built up earlier in the year. Does that make sense? Yeah,
that makes perfect sense.
Okay. So go ahead.
Are you done with that part? Okay. Something else that I've noticed, I think too, is I'm not, I was 26 when I started the program, and I kind of learned what I could get away with, like do level 3 perfect, and then maybe have a little bit light of a weekend. And I think my body's changing, honestly. Like, I'm in my 30s now, and that's been kind of like rocking my world a little bit too. It's like things are different for sure, I think.
Yeah. That's the magic of life. I
just have to find my new norm, I guess. Like, I'm not in my 20s anymore, and
I'm
not eating anymore, and my body hurts more. And
losing weight isn't as easy, and especially, if you, and I don't think you're like this, but I know there's a lot of people out there that go back and forth quite a bit, where it's like they lose 50 pounds and then they go down 10, back 10, down 10, and it goes back and forth, and then it starts to creep all the way back, because it just gets harder and harder, because it's hard, like, hormonally on our body. And, as things shift around as you age too, that just kind of ramps up. But just recovery level. That's why nutrition is so much more important now. Now that you're in your 30s, that's.
I know, I'm still like young in comparison, but I have something, I can compare it to when I was 26 and I was killing it, and I'd come into PT a little hungover and get all my reps in still, and I couldn't imagine doing that now.
Well, again, going back to what I said at the very beginning, like if you look at the pie chart of your life overall, there's a lot more adult responsibility with your career, with your relationships, and that's only going to get more if you guys decide to start a family. Like that's going to add to it. So, again, we're establishing a new normal, and we're learning what that is now. But you've got a really rock solid foundation in place. That's the good thing, is you're not going, well, I've got upgraded in my career, so no more workouts ever. It's like, you're not just doing that trade out. You're figuring out the balance. So instead of 7 workouts per week, it's maybe 4, but we're still getting to the gym. We're still plugged in. We have good foundational principles that we're operating from. So just like if you're feeling your body a little bit, things that always work: extra water, extra sleep, making sure you get your electrolytes in, like pink Himalayan sea salt and stuff like that, lemon juice in your water, all that. And then extra healthy fats, ramping up those omega-3s. That helps with hormonal balance. It helps with recovery. It helps with sleep. It helps with recovering from workouts and joint pain. So those are the foundational things. Like, those are the things that I've had to really ramp up. Like the last year, I phased out of keto, went to clean eating, started adding cheat meals back in. And I noticed, man, I put on body fat like it was going out of style. And I was like, whoa, this is crazy. So I really ramped up, lessen the cheat meals. Now I've ramped back into keto, body fat starting to fall off easily, just as well as it did before. And just making sure I got good sleep, good recovery. Like that's like recovery, sleep, and body maintenance as you age. Like that's like the golden triangle of making sure that we can be fit as we go into our 30s, 40s, 50s, and beyond. Yeah. So is that making sense?
Yeah, for sure. I just need to find my new norm and all that. So
yeah, and don't stress out about it. You're somebody. You're like, relatively speaking, you're young in the game still. Like you're, I've been beating my body up for the last 20 plus years, and it's it knows what's coming for it. But with you, like your body's still relatively new to things like strength training, and you got a great foundation built that we'll keep building on. But I think you're in a good place, and you're thinking through things. Again, that's something I bring up a lot in these calls. Like you're not just. I feel like a lot of people are like foot on the gas pedal, but they don't have their hands on the wheel, and they just wait until they run into something and they deal with it. Right. And you are thinking through things now, and that's a huge advantage. And that way you can't just cover your eyes and just be like, oh, I hope this works out. I hope these pounds lose themselves. And so that's good. And you're using the tools that we put out there, and you're a champ.
Sometimes. Thanks.
Yeah. All right. Well, anything else that you wanna cover?
I'm starting accountability coaching with Lisa on Monday, so I thought that was good.
Yeah.
And
yep. Yeah. I mean, you do a good job of that. You realize that'll go into the sprint mode thing, and you'll, that'll work. So yeah, it's a smart move just to ramp things up and have that extra little bit of accountability, that accountability anchor point heading into the next 28-day cycle. That's a winner.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep. Cool.
All right. Well, I'm proud of you. You're doing good. I mean, do you feel better heading into the next cycle now, like sprint mode mindset wise?
Yeah. I feel like I kind of blew the last two, to be honest. Right up till I went to wedding shopping or wedding dress shopping. You noticed it too. Like I definitely like dialed in and was super motivated, and I'm still motivated, but I wasn't as like, my head wasn't in it, hasn't been in as much of the game as it was this last 8 weeks. But I feel like I'm starting to kick back in, because I'm realizing, I just need to get back to the foundation, level 3, on point, reporting. I'm doing my weigh-in. So
yep.
I just need to get back to the foundations, and I feel like I'm getting there. So
yeah.
And do my battle plan workbook.
Yes. Use the workbook, and you don't have to think past this 28 days. Like that's something that we'll take care of step by step. So just focus. Okay. Next 20 days in front of me. Here are the danger zones. Here's the nutrition plan. Here's the fitness plan. I'm going to ramp it up a little bit. I got my cheat bank ready to go. Adam's got my back. I'm doing some accountability buddy action, and we're good to go. So let's just get after it, attack this 28 days, and then we'll attack the next one after that. Cool.
Sounds good.
Hey, thanks for hanging out for a minute after the episode. I hope you got a ton of value out of that coaching session. Now, if you are ready to reclaim control over your health and be a part of an amazing community and support system, I want you to head on over to millionpoundmission.com and start your free 10-day trial inside of my Transformation ReBoot program. Now, as part of this program, you get to do monthly one-on-one strategy sessions with me, just like you heard here today. We also do weekly small group support sessions, monthly deep dive discussions, and the daily interaction and support you'll get inside of our community page is unlike anything you have ever experienced in your fitness journey. Now, I know that you are probably somebody that is willing to put in the effort to reach your transformation goals. And if you allow me to add some structure, accountability, and support around that effort, you'll be able to gain amazing momentum and feel unstoppable. So head on over to millionpoundmission.com and start your risk-free 10-day free trial of the Transformation ReBoot program. My friend, I will look forward to doing your welcome video chat session soon.